don't care how crazy my life looks. I'm having a great time. Like, truly.
Yeah. Now, after Toyota, I feel like I'm in that next echelon, that 80 to 100% alignment. I'm not making as much money as I was making at Toyota.
We're living off savings, by the way.
Yeah. So
everyone's curious.
Living off savings at the moment. But I feel like every waking moment I'm engaged and I'm doing work that I find very rewarding. And I feel like this is the dream life. You know what I mean? If we can somehow just keep doing what we're doing.
Like just try to pay month to month, figure out like how much money we can make just to stay afloat for another month. Like truly, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is like so much more fun.
And then that would be us getting paid to live.
Yes.
Like if we're not homeless and able to maintain our daily schedules, our day-to-day that we have right now. I think then we've done it.
Exactly. And I think, let me just preface, like I always think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'll put it here, but you definitely need to take care of the first few levels, okay, of like being alive, because it's going to be hard to think about what do I like to do for fun if you're trying to figure out what you're going to eat tonight. Like, I think there is some kind of like prepare for yourself, but I think the trick and the problem actually with a lot of people our age, and we'll get into all of this because I have lots of opinions on it, but you don't need as much as you think. I think that's the problem. We try to over prepare. Like, I can't leave my job. I can't, pursue what I want to do because I'm not going to have enough money. I think older people, I'm just going to call them out. I think older people, because they care about you, your parents or grandparents, your bosses, and they see you as a young person and they're scared for you, and it makes sense. They kind of scare you into thinking you need all of this stuff. Like, you need a house, you need a 6-figure income, health insurance. I'm like, yes, okay, yeah, generally that is true. But okay, just say you quit, okay, with enough to survive for the next 3 months, and that freaks people out. Like, I get it, and I'm only saying this because I've actually done it, and I would not say that if it wasn't true. I quit with $6,000 in my bank account, which was partly my retirement. So let's just get that clear. I'm not a saver, so I live life on the edge on a rig. But I quit with $6,000 in my bank account. At that point, mommy and daddy were not paying for things. Like, this was all me, and the only thing I think that my parents were paying for was my phone bill. So like, my expenses were like $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and I had 6. Okay, so I figured out how to make that stretch for $6,000. I'm not somebody who's like a math person. Actually, that's the problem. And that taught me a lot, because ironically, I was very happy during that time, partly depressed because I was like leaving this structure and this mold of corporate and always having an institution in my life. And that was very scary to navigate on my own, because I had never had to have a routine outside of work at school. But the other half of me felt so free and like liberated, and you have so much time when it's not taken up by a job. Like, I don't think you realize how much time you have and how much you can actually output without people telling you what to do. If you struggle with that, maybe like even with an employer, consider why that is first. But if you're somebody who knows you can execute and you feel like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have enough time, blah, blah, blah. Like, the time, I feel like when you quit your job, like afterwards, I feel like it's like 1 hour is like 2.
Yeah.
You know?
I resonate with that. It just goes back to that point that this doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's a gradual process. The timetable for you getting to this point where you can kind of really go all in on the content stuff, you know? Yeah. I feel like you've been developing these skills since high school even. You know what I mean? You were doing DECA, you're practicing speech and communication. Yeah, that's then true. In SWAB, doing we were event planners in college, and the organization was called SWAB. In SWAB, you're learning how to execute and be organized and plan events. And then in corporate, you were learning how to,
talk to people,
meetings and bullshitting, I guess.
Whatever you do,
whatever this is, but I guess being a professional, and then that allowed you to start becoming a freelancer, and then freelance in social media marketing allowed you to kind of learn how to monetize being a content creator. So I feel like this has been, I don't know, you're 26? 2015
was when I graduated
from
high
school. So it's
like
8 years in the making, you know what I mean? So it's not something that happens overnight, but you were always moving in that direction.
Correct.
And that's what it's all about.
Correct.
It's about making those baby steps, at least the way I see it. It's all about making the baby steps toward it. Yeah, there are going to be those moments where you have to take a leap, like when you left Ericsson, like when you dropped all your freelance clients. But it is still like a gradual process.
Right. And everybody has a version of this. That's what's, I wrote down an example. If you need more clarity on like what getting paid to live can look like and what it is, it's a mindset. I see getting paid to live as a way you think. And I try to explain it in this scenario. So like he was saying, it could be the same life, two different ways of thinking about it.
Yeah.
So two people, they have a job, okay, 9 to 5. One person thinks this job is paying me to do my passions.
Yeah.
The money that I'm getting from this job is being put straight towards my life, right? So it's like, it's more like a resource rather than a crutch. And this person, like just say when they get home from work, they are working on their YouTube channel.
Yep.
Okay. They're editing videos, they're scripting, they're writing, they're doing all these things. They're posting, they're getting engagement, just working on it day in, day out, any moment they have that's not at the job. So all the money that they're getting is being put towards camera equipment, investing in outfits or whatever the heck, right, for their channel. Why that's important is because when you start seeing your job or whatever it is in your life that maybe is unfavorable for the moment as a resource, you start making the thing that you're doing on your free time the main character. So you notice how I'm saying like in your free time, essentially you wouldn't even think of it as like, this is my free time.
This is my main time.
This is my main time.
My job is the free time.
Exactly.
Where's the off
exactly.
time?
It's like that's the
second act.
Exactly. You want to make your free time or the thing that you're doing that you really want to do the main character.
You want to prioritize it. That's
prioritize
the priority.
It. Literally do it. Like I started to have a switch. The last year I was in corporate. Like I love editing videos. Like I just kept remembering, and I'm not even like the best editor. I use like a really ghetto system too. But
it's fun.
It's fun. I loved it. And I was like, I would love to do this all day. And I would start when work from home was just starting to become a thing. I would, in between meetings, edit. I would film. I would like make TikTok videos. And I was like, this is amazing. And I remember my life started to feel like, God, what is this pest in my way? And it was like, it was my job. And I know that can be like kind of like bad and toxic in a way, but really mentally, I was always looking out for the main character, which was my editing and my content. Because when people would schedule meetings with me, I knew I already had in my schedule, like at lunchtime, I'm filming, right? Because that's generally when people in corporate are like, you know, taking their lunch, doing their thing. So I would say, okay, during this time, I'm going to edit or I'm going to film something. And then if I had a meeting or things come up, I'd be like, oh, actually, can we move it to 3? Like I would start making room for that thing. And you notice how like that doesn't happen unless you start identifying it as a main character. If I was not, just say I still wanted to be a YouTuber, I still wanted to do content, all this stuff, but I wasn't making a plan for it, I would be like, oh yeah, you can schedule at lunchtime.
Right.
I would make
the job the priority.
Exactly. And then my life would revolve around the job. When it's like your job needs to revolve around your life.
Yeah.
That's how the mindset can impact you. And I think unintentionally I was doing it at the time and I didn't know. But the other person, for the other scenario, this job is taking up all their time and their free time is used to prepare for the job that they don't like. And they're living the same life and they have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount of time in the day. And this person has made their job the main character. Yeah. So they are literally not just working for someone else's dream. They're living for someone else's dream. And sure, some people can counter that and say like, I don't care about I don't feel like I'm giving myself to someone else's dream. But if your main time, your 9 to 5 time is used to work for that person and it doesn't align with yours, like period. And then your free time is used to prepare for this thing that's doesn't align with you, then you are living for someone else's dream. And you have dreams and desires that are meant for you and only you can fulfill. And you are putting a pause on that. You're saying hold because I need to do something else for someone else. And again, emphasis on like it doesn't overlap with yours. If you have an employer and you're like, okay, I need experience or, I need to learn something from this person or, I don't love everything about my job, but it's teaching me something. It's teaching me discipline. It's teaching me about programming. It's teaching me about marketing. Like that's a different story. But if you are like, this job has zero benefit to me other than money, please just take a moment to reevaluate
right.
that your life is so much more precious than you're giving it credit for. And you have a whole universe that is being put on hold. Imagine you're not even trying to look and see what the possibilities are. You're not even like, don't even know what's possible. And you're just saying it's okay because I need money. What do you need the money for?
Right.
What is the money for if it's not for your life? And if you, in that scenario, if you're living for someone else's dream, what do you need the money for then? Mm-hmm. You need the money so you can keep living for them.
Wherever you are is a starting place.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, maybe you're getting the money, but maybe you're getting the money at your job, but maybe it's not in the right industry, or maybe you're not learning the right skills, or maybe it's not the right role that you want to be working in. What you can do is like, okay, I checked one box, but I have like 3 boxes unchecked. Is it possible for me to find another job, maybe just in the right industry or at the right company or in the right direction? So I can just check one more box.
Yeah.
And then let me do that for some period of time. And then let me reevaluate and see if I can check another box. You know, this approach to it is just a checklist that you're ultimately just going down, and you know, you're not going to do it overnight, but like over the course of years, you can check off everything on your list, and this is your dream list. This is your dream life.
Yeah, exactly.
And just slowly just keep going.